Today, I want to talk about a beautiful list. And again, everything that I talk to you about, I've already tried it on so many people before I come and speak to you about it because I want to see how it works. I want to see results. Not every idea has to work, but I'm fortunate enough to have so many people from across the world who reach out to us when they have disease and suffering. We're constantly working with different techniques and tools to help people through anxiety, through chronic stress, because everyone's different. Meditation may work for someone. Nature may work for someone else. Being with close loved ones gives people peace, but everyone's different. Today, I want to talk about something which is so powerful, and at this point in my life, I do believe personally it's my most powerful tool. It's what I've been using for 4 or 5 years. Where did I learn it from? I didn't learn this in school. I didn't learn it in university. I've learned it through consulting with patients, and you learn certain lessons with them that makes you stronger every single day. Like I remember yesterday I had 2 patients, a young girl, 14 years old, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. She was in hospital. We did the consult, and she just smiled through the entire consult. She was happy. She was just so amazing. Her energy gave me strength. She was the one in hospital. I was comfortably sitting in my clinic and going over a case, but she was the one in the hospital bed with all the IVs and the drips and getting her chemotherapy. But she gave me strength from her presence, from the way she was handling. Her mom gave me strength. Then I had another patient, 69 years old, near end failure of kidneys and waiting for a transplant in the list, etc. But jovial, happy, and genuinely, you know when some people fake it and just like, hey, whatever has to happen happens. Let me enjoy today. That kind of attitude. Like this, I've learned over the last 4 or 5 years, the only way out of anxiety and stress is surrender. And the list that I want to teach you to make is called a surrender list. We're going to learn how to do that today. It is a powerful list. You may think, what's the point of making lists? It's so powerful, and I'm going to tell you why. So number one, the moment people hear the word surrender, they're like, but Luke, I'm not a quitter. I'm not weak. The art of surrendering does not mean you are giving up, nor does it mean you are weak. Surrender simply means you've decided to release resistance. You're stopping the internal fight with reality. You're aligning with life instead of constantly fighting with it. That's what surrender is. There are some things we should surrender. There are some things we should give our 500%. Right? So surrender is not a weakness. It's actually intelligence, because many of us know the power of surrender, but we don't have the intelligence, the wisdom, or the presence to practice it. That's why it's also an intelligence. It is never a weakness. It is knowing when effort helps. When there's effort, I need to put in effort, it's going to help. That's great. And we have to also be mindful when effort becomes our suffering, constantly trying to hold tighter and tighter. We're trying to control outcomes tighter and tighter. We're trying to control relationships. We're trying to control energies like love. We're trying to control people, things, events, outcomes. That effort becomes our suffering. The more you do, the more you suffer. Because the reality is some things can never change. And most things and people are out of our control. Outcomes of diseases, out of our control. What is in our control are the actions we can take. No one knows the outcome. We think we may know the outcome. We predict the outcome based on science, based on benchmarks, etc. But no one knows the 100% outcome, which is why no one will ever give it to you in writing. But the point is, let's go a little further with this. Surrender is super powerful for us because the number one thing that most of us today are suffering from is chronic stress, anxiety, anxiousness, whatever it is. Oh, Luke, but I'm a mom. I will be anxious about my kids. Yes. Don't be anxious. Be concerned. Anxious leaves you a victim of anxiety. Concern inspires you to action. Yes, I am concerned about my daughter. I am concerned about my mother. I'm concerned about my son. You're concerned. Great. But now there's an action that you can take. But when you're anxious, you're helpless. You're looking around. You're in desperation. Oh no, what's going to happen? Fear is building more and more. So understand there's a huge difference when you change your mindset. I'm not anxious. I'm concerned. You have a right to be concerned. Of course, you have a right to be concerned if you have a disease. You have the right to be concerned if someone's troubling you, if there's an issue with your work or your business. But I'm concerned about the pollution, so I'll do something about it. I'll wear a mask, I'll put purifiers in my home. If I'm anxious about the pollution, I've just become a slave to it. Every day I see the AQI, every day I'm suffering. I'm concerned, but I've taken an action, and there's nothing else I can do. I surrender the outcome. There's nothing else I can do. So what we have to understand that most of our stress in life does not come from problems and people. It comes from the resistance to problems and people. I always tell people when I'm invited to events to talk about health and disease, and people obviously ask me about stress, I'd say the definition of stress is our resistance to a person, a thing, or an event. Think of anything that's stressing you out right now. It's your resistance. Even if someone's stressing you out, it's your resistance to what that person is saying or doing. It's not really the person. It's your resistance to what is happening. Our suffering is in our resistance. So all of us have to understand where our stress comes from. We're like, oh, the traffic has caused my stress today. No, it's your resistance to traffic. You know there's traffic in the city you live. You're resisting it. That is your suffering. So we have to understand first where stress comes, and then we know cortisol goes up, creativity goes down, perspectives change, the nervous system gets dysregulated, the immune system gets suppressed, inflammation goes up, which is why no matter who you are, where you are in the world, if you are suffering from a disease or you are looking at prevention, it is not just a diet plan, it is not just a prescription of medication. It comes down to what's happening within you. Your stress, your anxiety, your emotions, your mental space, your mental peace, all of these become powerful medicines for you to get better. So basically now let's get straight into the surrender list. I want you to make points and notes. You don't have to do the list right now because that would take us a good 45 minutes to do it together. So I'm going to give you the instructions. You're going to need a paper and pen for this so you can type it down right now. And I'm sure someone watching this video will also put down the instructions in the notes, all right? We are now going to build and learn how to build a surrender list. It's not a to-do list. In fact, we can say it's a to let go list. We're all used to having to-do lists. Let's do this, let's do that, let's do everything. Today we're going to make a to let go list. Simply call it a surrender list. This list requires you to work with truth, honesty, self-compassion, and clarity. Take your time. It's your personal list. No one has to see it. It's your list. It's a great thing to have this list because it also helps you to build a practice of visualization and manifestation just built on a surrender list. All right? So what first we're going to do, write down instructions on the surrender list. You're going to write down anything and everything that just feels heavy in you right now. Don't filter, don't think, don't fix, just write. Let me give you examples. There could be a health condition that's bothering you or you're living with it. My diabetes, that's stressing me out. My cancer, my alopecia, whatever it is. I have fatigue. I'm going through difficult hot flushes. I'm going through obesity. I'm going through constipation. Just write it down. If it's making you feel heavy, it's concerning you, it's making you feel anxious, you're stressed out, write it down. It could be a relationship where you feel stuck. A part of a relationship where you feel stuck. Maybe with a lover, with a sibling, with a parent, with a sister, with a brother, a friend, doesn't matter. Write it down. Okay? It could be a person that just won't change. It's frustrating you, getting you angry, getting you in a frenzy all the time. Write it down. It could be a job that you hate, a job that you fear losing. Maybe your business isn't doing too well. It could be a feeling that you just keep fighting. Maybe envy, maybe sadness, maybe resentment, guilt. Just write it down. Write it down. It could be a future outcome that you're obsessing over. Today, most people are stressed about the future. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Write it down. A past that keeps replaying in your mind. I'm just giving you examples. Write it down. Everything that is leading towards your current state of emotional distress, negative stress, chronic stress, anxiety, anxiousness, write it down. If anything, let me put it this way, if anything's taking up a lot of your mental space, write it down. Okay? Now, you're going to divide the page into two columns. All right? Column A and column B. In column A, just write, is this in my control? Question mark. In column B, is this outside of my control? Question mark. Then go through your list above and start putting them in column A and column B. I have diabetes. Column A, in my control. Go to the doctor, take a medicine, change my life, reverse it. I got a cancer. In my control. Unless your doctor told you there's nothing we can do, go home, palliative care, you have 1 week to live, even then, I will still put it in column A. because there's so much that you can do. Maybe not reverse the cancer. How are you going to spend that last 2 weeks? How are you going to spend that last 6 months? There's a lot you can do. But when we're thinking out of fear, we would have given up right now. And even the last 2 weeks, 6 months, whatever, would go very, very negatively. So what we're going to do is put all of these things. Now, in column A, everything that you've written that is within your control. All right? Write down this little question. What is one small action I can take to make this better? That's it. I want a whole action plan. One small action that I can take for everything in column A, which is in my control. The second thing that you're going to ask yourself, write down this question. What is the one thing that I need to stop doing that is coming in the way? Let's go with diabetes as the answer. One small action, I can start walking 10 minutes after every meal. How powerful is that for type 2 diabetes? What is one thing I can stop doing? I've noticed I've been overeating too much. Maybe I can stop doing that. That's all I want you to do. So column A, you listed your problems. You know what's in your control. You can influence action. What's that small little action? What is the one thing that you want to stop doing? That's it. Now let's go to column B. Column B, there's only 3 things that you can write at the side. Accept, let go, or surrender. Finally, it comes down to surrender. Traffic. I put traffic in column B. Surrender. No amount of worry and stress, no amount of foul language or abusive language to the government, infrastructure, etc. can change traffic for you today, tomorrow, or maybe the next 1 month or 1 year. It is out of your control. You surrender it, you stop your suffering. Now you surrender it. It's not just save your problem. You still need to be 2 hours in traffic, but you're not suffering. What can I do in those 2 hours? I'll listen to a podcast. I'll close my eyes and meditate, I'll read a book, call up my mom, call up my dad, listen to my favorite playlist. Whatever it is, there are actions you can take that can actually come into your life, but otherwise you're suffering, sitting in the car, angry, complaining, wondering whether you should change the place that you live in. That's suffering. Every day, out of your control. There is nothing you can do to change that. Of course, I'll say change your city. Always move away. Go to a village. But we're being impractical. For some people, it's possible, it's practical. Many people will write in column B, because like I said, a lot of my clients have done this already, that, Luke, the outcome of my cancer, I don't know if I'm going to live or die. The outcome of my bypass surgery. If you put it in out of control, that's okay. But you got to surrender it now. You can only influence the journey, the actions, take your medical treatment, change your nutrition, change your lifestyle, pray, etc. But the outcome is out of your control. So surrender it. Surrender it. I'm going to talk to you about how you do that. So everything that is out of control becomes surrender, 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 surrender. I really hope my daughter-in-law starts to treat her husband better. I really hope I can't sleep at night, Luke. I hope that changes. Surrender. All your nights of sleeplessness will not change how your daughter-in-law treats her husband. Now, you surrendered it. You can pray, you can move on with your life, you can intend that there's a change, but you cannot control it. You see, most of our problems, most of our stresses will actually be in out of control. And now you will realize how much of your life, energy, and time you have given in trying to control or solve a situation that can never be solved. It had to be surrendered. And everything else, because you're so stressed out and you have so much of less mental energy and space, you don't have the mindfulness or the energy to take the actions in column A, where you should be giving your 1000%, not your 100%. So this little exercise called the surrender list just helps you get clarity into what you have to surrender. Now, what really is surrender? Who are you surrendering this to? Is it going to magically disappear? Surrender is always to a higher power. I'm not saying it's God. I'm a Catholic, I believe in God, but I'm not saying that for you. Some people believe in the power of the universe, the energy of the universe. So align with that. Some people believe in the power of nature. So align with a power that is higher than you. The point is today, most of us are so egoistic and living with pride that we think we can do everything, and we think that everything that's good in our life, that we've done it. That we've done it. We forget about every other contributing energy and power of the universe that has come through someone indirectly or directly from the top, from nature, that has actually contributed towards your success. When people ask me in interviews that, oh wow, Luke, what amazing testimonials for your patients, clients, etc., etc. Wow, wow, wow. All I say is, it's come from the top. It would be foolish for me to think that me and my team have done it on our own. Yes, we've been able to enable and facilitate and put it together, but we know there's a higher power. We know we can put our hand up and say it's not us alone. There have been so many things that have kicked in for a patient to heal so beautifully. So surrender, a higher power. If you believe in God, fantastic. Whatever it is, whatever your spiritual path is, you may not even believe in God, that's fine. But you believe there's a higher power. Look around you, the universe. Look at every single moment, good, bad, that somehow comes together to form a situation. When you look back in your life and you realize how many things you have that you love, I want you to reflect tonight and see all the negative moments that have had to happen for the positive moments to happen in your life. It is all a collection of good, bad, I don't like it, I like it, etc. that comes together to form the final picture. Only in a state of surrender do you allow the energy and the intelligence of the human body and the universe to do its work. We interfere with this intelligence and energy, and then now what are we in a state of resistance? Sometimes we just gotta flow. All right, I've got cancer, I've gone to the doctor, I got my chemotherapies, I got my nutrition. Commit to the process, but you gotta surrender the outcome, because no one is in control of the outcome. When you're trying to control the outcome, you're getting more and more desperate. You're in a state of resistance, high cortisol. You're changing the environment of your body from an environment of healing to an environment of survival, fight and flight. So your body's not supporting your healing. You're taking treatment after treatment. You're eating more and more superfoods. But your body's not supporting your healing because you're in the wrong system. When we're in a state of resistance, we're in a state of survival. Survival is the fight and flight response. We are not designed to heal, we are not designed to repair, we are not designed to sleep in that state. In the state of surrender, all right, that's it. I've done my best today. This is what I hope happens. I may pray, I may write it down and stuff. Now I surrender and I go to sleep because I trust that there is a higher power, oh my God, who will take care of these things. But we have such a lack of faith. Again, I'm not just talking about God. We have such a lack of faith that there is a higher energy than us working for us or against us, that instead of aligning with a higher and more powerful energy, we start to try to control. And that control becomes desperation and anger and irritability and blame games and stuff like that. So today, all you need to do is make your surrender list. I always ask people, religious, pray. I say, what do you pray about? Tell me if it's not too confidential, what do you pray? There was one lady who says, look, for me, praying is, I just talk to God. I just say, I don't like how I feel today. Can you help me? I don't like this disease. I don't know why I have it. Can you help me? Please take it away. There's nothing I can do. Surrender. I think one of the most powerful practices that has actually brought so much of change and so much more greatness in my life is every single morning before I start my day with patients. I already know the kind of patients I'm going to see. I have their reports the previous night. I just surrender every one of them to a higher power because I know in my heart there's no way that I alone can solve their problems. So I surrender before I even start my day, and it just leaves me with a beautiful peace. Not trying to control, okay, fine. This is the best I can do. This is the best the patient can do. Now we got to surrender the outcome. And there's so much peace that comes with that. Our bodies heal in a state of peace. Every cell in your body works better, vibrates better when we are peaceful. We can feel joy in our life when we're in a state of peace. Can you feel joy when someone or something has robbed you of peace? The answer is no. And that is the surrender list. Short, beautiful. Once you have this list, the first list is a master list for you to realize that I've been trying to control things and people that are out of my control. You feel a little stupid at that point. You say, what a waste. But this list brings you back to organizing. This is in my control. I'll give it my 1000%. It's my control. Pray, accept, let go, surrender. And now how does this move into visualization and manifestation? Because once you have your list of what you want to surrender, and this is something like every night before you sleep, what do I want to surrender before I sleep? I basically surrender everything because I don't think there's one thing in my life that I'm in control of. Nothing. For my own health, I can only do what I can, but the outcome has to be surrendered. Relationships, how children grow, the health of our parents, what our finances will be, these are not within our control. Think about it. Parts of it are in our control. Everything else is just left out there. And people are stressed out whether it will happen or not. Try surrender. It'll buy you peace. Now, at first, surrendering will be a bit difficult because people feel they're losing control. No one likes to lose control. You'll say, no, Luke, I feel out of control if I surrender. And you want to micromanage and do everything. It comes with practice. Make the list first. The surrender list will change your life. It changed mine. It changed a lot of my patients, and I hope it changes yours. Have a great day, everyone, and have a great evening.